Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right in my living room in the wee hours of the morning where I do what I do for you. Let's go. Today, writers 25 Rules to Live By. Storytelling. Story with a message and story for life. These are life lessons I'm giving you. You tune in and receiving them. I'm hoping they're working for you. Let's do this. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Get to know yourself from the inside out. It's a good thing. Right thinking is way of life. That's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily. That's what I do. Will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's the name. That's the rule. For right thinkers, that's my mission to get you to know you. Now the question I'm gonna ask you, see if you know you. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not but knows that they know not is simple. I can teach you. Tune in. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believe that they know dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken you. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Yeah. Person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Mayat, be true. To keep balance in your life. That's what it's all about. And when you got balance, you got it going on. Today, let's talk about right thinkers. Let's talk about, life is really a spiritual journey. And on that journey, right thinking is a must. Let's talk about that. We'll break it down for you. Hopefully, you get a good lesson out of this one. I think it got some merit to it. Let's roll. You're born in the human body to have human experience, aka we're spiritual beings inside a body to have a human experience. That's called the spiritual journey, aka psycho spiritual journey. Okay? The whole point is for you to know yourself. I get excited about that whole concept because we seem to forget we want to know about everything except ourselves. Start with you first. Trust me, that's important. Now, I tell people our brain has memory and imagination. You can always remember what you did. Some of us could, some of us don't. But your imagination is projected forward. That's your faith. That's your belief. Okay. That's your dreams. Okay. That's the subconscious things that's undone, but foreseen within your mental vision. Okay. It's all mental. You spend your life trying to find yourself. I found myself. I left to go in search of truth and myself over 30 years ago. I'm back with the truth and I know who I am. So this is why I do what I do for you. I know what I'm doing. In life, if you reach spiritual enlightenment, and I've done that, you win in life. Why? Because you know yourself. The ancients left us that creed. Know thyself. Short word, big meaning. It's very significant. When your spirit come together, when your spirit comes together with your mind, the light goes on. That little bell, ding. I got it. hmm When you know you, when you and God make that connection, that's when the light goes on. That's called the awakening. When the spirit gets recognized by the body that is in, that's the awakening. Right thinking philosophy is the weapon you can use to make that happen along your spiritual path. Gaining knowledge of self, implementing the knowledge that you gain to prove that this knowledge is right, is right thinking philosophy. I am, excuse me, I am with you, spiritual. I am you with spiritual knowledge. Excuse me. Dude, your writing is terrible. I arm you with spiritual knowledge so you can defeat your ego, aka Set. I keep hearing us call this guy the devil. I keep hearing call him Satan. I don't have a problem with that. But you need to understand who and where it is. It's in you. The Egyptians got a two-headed human being, Heru and Set. That means they occupy the same body. But from the neck up, things get different. The ego runs from the neck up. Set will control you if you allow them. If you're ignorant to that concept, spiritual meaning you got a higher level of understanding. That's why you need knowledge. Ignorant people are pretty much ego based. Most people who are successful, ego based. Because it's confident, it builds you, it drives you, it don't give up. It's the fight that's in you. They say the phrase, it ain't the size of the dog just in the fight, it's the size of fighting the dog. If your ego is big, hardly corral them. All right, here you go. I know that spiritual knowledge is the way to become your best self. Why? Because you're going to defeat your ego. You're going to overcome your biggest adversity, yourself. The devil, Satan, all these names you give them, identify with it for who it is, what it is. It's you, not knowing who you are. You ignorant becomes ego driven. The ego is in control when you're spiritually ignorant. Learning about yourself is just half the solution. Learning it is one thing. Living it is the other half. The yin don't work without the yang, and the yang ain't no good without the yang. So you need to have knowledge of self, and that's how it's done. Ignorance of self is the work of what? The ego. He don't want you being ignorant. Why? Because he's in control. He's having his way with you. And you struggling the whole time. I just can't get it together. I don't know why things ain't work. Yeah, because the ego's having its way with you. You call it the devil. Same thing. Same concept. I don't have a problem with what you call it. I'm just trying to explain to you what it is. That's what I do for you. Spiritual knowledge teaches truth. God is spirit. When you obtain spiritual knowledge, that means you learn about God. That's the truth. I don't do the belief system. I keep telling you that the ancients knew the truth. They practiced it daily. They lived it. They called it Mayat. I call it right thinking. Same thing. It ain't what you call it, it's what you do. Learning the truth makes it possible to live your spiritual truth in your own time, in your own life. It's a good thing to be. Some people call it holy rollers, some people call it all the nonsense. No, if you live in a spiritual lifestyle, that means you in communication with your higher self, God. Some belief system don't explain that to you well, so you really don't get that third part. It's 3 parts to religious system. It's 3 parts to masonry. It's 3 parts to pretty much everything. The Trinity, I got a lesson coming up for you there. So the 3 is important, but that's because it's stable. You need 3 things, time and space. Another lesson. All right, here you go. I practice spiritual discipline, aka Maya right thinking philosophy, daily. I'm a master at it now. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm still working. Even mastery, you still want to get the next level. Sagehood, and then guru. But I start with master of self right now. I'm good at this level. Here you go. I have mastered my spiritual truth by living them daily, aka right living every day. I put it down for you. I lay it out for you, and I also show you how it's done. Look at that 3 again. Here you go. Where you at? When you live spiritually, aka right thinking philosophy, you're an enlightened being walking the earth on a whole nother level. They see it, they recognize it. Real recognize real. Just like spirituality, we recognize each other in spirit. Okay. Next one is human beings are unenlightened spiritual beings. When you're ignorant, you're still human. You're still spirit. You just don't know who you are. So you're pretty much lost. Again, ignorant, being in the dark, same thing. Yes, we are human beings capable of becoming spiritually enlightened beings. That's where studying, practice, all this come in at. If you don't do those things, you're gonna just be a human being, which is fine. Some people are fine with that. That's why they spirit just got to go back and wait for somebody else who want to do better and raise their level of understanding so they can know themselves so the spirit can make his exit back. If we never become enlightened, watch this. Beings, we will die as humans. That's all. You're gonna die twice. That's what the ancients considered. The body gonna die. We know that. But if the spirit don't get enlightened, the spirit ain't gonna die. The conscious of that spiritual being will die. That means you don't have no choice of living into the afterlife. You're gonna die twice, conceptually. All right. If we, oh wait, no, okay. I am a human being as long as I remain ignorant of myself. I'm a human being. Why? Because I'm human. But I want to become a spiritually enlightened being. Akus, enlightened being, illuminated one. Okay? With what? Spirit and self, with knowledge of self, you become an enlightened being. Human beings, aka ignorant beings, is those who lack spiritual knowledge. aka walking dead, they just exist and they just go into the motions. Yeah. The human beings will die if unenlightened and excuse me, if they're unenlightened, when they die, human will die if unenlightened to itself. You're going to die twice. If you don't know who you are in death, you will be exterminated for real. Nonetheless, let me wrap this up again. I appreciate you tuning in. The last one, spiritual beings are what? The enlightened beings who realize who they are. They woke up, they got awakened, they reached the Nihas. I'm a spiritual being, having a human experience, but I know who I am. Why? I reached that level of Nihas. I woke up. I'm trying to get you to understand you can do the same thing by putting the work in and making it happen for yourself. We are born into a physical world to become enlightened beings over a period of time. That's what we're here for, to get to the next level. The body won't get us there. Consciousness, become God conscious, know who you are. So when the body leave, you're conscious. So you go get your heart weight against the feather Maya. You will pass the test of life. Why? Because you woke up. You got your memory. You realize who you was. That's the whole test in life. Conceptual. Our spirit, watch this, have to be woken up by becoming spiritually conscious. Gain knowledge of God, understand who you are, and that's what makes the difference. I'm almost done. I'm about to take it home. All right. Here you go. Last one. We are immortal beings if we become what? Spiritually knowledgeable of ourselves. Knowing thyself make you God-like. You reach that state where you aren't just a human being. You are an enlightened being. I appreciate you. Are you enlightened? I am. If you need to be, tune into your boy. I got you.